Hello guys, CIXING and Diagram Machine chapter starts. The plan is from 2026 to 2027 to explain the parameters of all CIXING machines and diagram machines. Okay, the first model I want to explain is the 2026 CIXING machine. Ordinary gauges from 3, 3.5, 5, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18 gauge. The definition of gauge is how many needles are placed in 1 inch. The wide gauge contains 5, 7, 12, 9, 14, 12, 6.2, and 7.2 gauge. 5 center gauge is 7 gauge but contains 5 gauge needle. According to density setting, it can need 2.5 gauge, 5 gauge, and 7 gauge prime. 12, 9, and 6.2 are basically the same. 12 gauge contains 9 gauge needle hook, but adjusting to density, it can need 9 gauge, 10 gauge, and 12 gauge. 44 gauge and 7.2 are the same. Machine can knit 12 and 14 gauge product. With different gauge and different needle hooks, you can knit spiders with different size envelopes. When mentioning the spider, let's look at this piece of fabric. It's made up of 3 parts: waist yarn, main yarn, and the waist yarn on the top. Fabric with waist yarn has 4 more steps, and the waist yarn is removed from the fabric. There are now 3 ways to pull fabric down: roller machine, comb machine, and intelligent comb machine. The biggest difference between them is the amount of waist yarn used. We know the function of the roller is by pulling the fabric down with its needles. Ensure the stable and equal size of the fabrics, where there is vacancy between the needle and the roller. Within this range, the machine will have one force downward for the fabric. This yarn is used to feel its vacancy. If the roller touches the waist yarn, the machine starts to knit a queen. This way, the fabric can be knitted with the identical size of the loops. The second is the comb machine. The first and second row are knitted by number 8 yarn feeder with rubber yarn. After the first and second row, roller opens and the comb rises to catch the yarn. Knitting several rows of the waist yarn before knitting the main yarn. At this point, the roller has not grabbed the fabric. Still force is from the comb. Wait until the main yarn is long enough. The roller closes and the fabric. The needle from the comb releases the fabric. Return to the initial position. The current comb force comes from the roller. Second is combo of comb and the roller. In this way, the quantity of the waist yarn can be lesser. Whether the roller machine or comb machine, in mass production, is specific products dismantling the waist yarn. When workers are working, a huge proportion of the time is used in the progress of dismantling the waist yarn. To remove these fibers, the way of the intelligent was invented. The work is more accurate and stable. It starts with the main yarn, set the first row and second row. The machine doesn't need waist yarn when doing anything. The intelligent comb wires wires through the teeth of the comb before it goes down. Wait until the fabric is long enough to touch the roller. Closes. The roller plants the fabric. The comb releases and the fabric returns to the place. This way, the rubber yarn and the waist yarn are saved. It also eliminates the fibers of removing the waist yarn, having the amount of time that has been saved. This is the difference between the roller comb and the intelligent comb machine. GE mode 52-inch 2 system with just roller, it's called GE2 52S. The S behind represents the roller. If it is the GE2 system with both the roller and the comb, the name will be GE2 52C. The C means the comb. With the intelligent comb, the name will be GE2 52CU. The CU represents the intelligent comb. About the definition of motorized mode, every mechanical devices inside the can box are now driven by motors. Knitting can and transfer can and density can part. The switch between the knitting can and transfer can is also driven by motor, hence the word motorized carriage on the brochure. The carriage can carry out 4 different knitting actions: knit, tuck, transfer, and without knitting. Tight tuck and tight knit are derivation, so passive, but these 4 actions are the rudiment. All the patterns in the market are actually carried out by these 4 actions. Moss stitch involves knit and transfer. Float involves knit and without knitting. C-stitch involves knit and tuck. Ponytail involves knit and transfer plus racking. Full needle involves knitting front and back at the same time. Bump involves partial knitting. Intarsia uses knitting and uses the tuck as the conduction part. Jocker is double jersey. Transfer and racking are used in doubling, flat narrow. All the patterns are based on these 4 rudiments. These 4 interact with each other, including patterns knitted by the intarsia machine, like anti-plate and weft inlay, partial toaster jockey optimization, these are still based on these 4 rudiments. Except for the ordinary sinker on the quartz gauge, finer than 5 gauge GE machines are all equipped with a cross sinker. It can help to press the yarn in the stitch blast action. The main function is to press the loops and the cutting part in the knitting action, quite useful in the bump action actually. In Zixing Shoes Upper Machine explanation, we'll talk about that. And the press sinker is used in long float pattern. We talk about that in STG Smart Running Machine. Film stitch is long float stitch. We talk about that in stagger machine explanation. Density affects the size of the loops. Parameters are from 0 to 650. The lesser the density, the smaller the loops. For yarn storage and yarn deliver, machines from gauge 3 to gauge 10 equipped with yarn deliver. Finer than 12 gauge, machines are equipped with yarn storage. The G mode is equipped with an electromatic changing system. The mechanical device is above the carriage. When machine uses a certain feeder, the electromatic trunk drops into the gap between the horns of the feeders. Feeders with double holes are used in plating. I will mention it with anti-flag action in STG Smart Running Machine. Emergency button is fitted beside the joystick. The front and rear safety door can also prompt it at the alarm. You can also turn it off in the machine setting. The function of the front safety light curtain is to prevent the object from dropping on the needle bed. It detects the object and gives the alarm. About the infrared alarm device on the roller, all detection borders have been upgraded to infrared sensor. When roller gets tangled, the sensor detects objects and gives the roller alarm. The infrared detector is placed on the carriage. When situations like a flow problem or overlay feeders happened on the needle bed, detectors can soon detect the situation on the bed. It gives alarm to the machine. Yarn brake alarm is fitted inside the antenna. When yarn breaks, the sensor soon drops and machine gives yarn braking alarm. The power brake is very familiar. Whenever there is a power outage, our machine can record the current row and record the specific location of the knitting yarn. When power restores, the machine can keep on knitting this piece of fabric. The domestic standard voltage is 220 volts. You can also choose 380 volts of 3-phase electricity. Machine power is 1.5 kWh. Size of 3 and 3.5 gauge machine is 3.5 meters times 1.05 meters times 1.4 meters. The weight is 1.4 tons. Size of machine finer than 5 gauge, 2.9 meters times 0.92 meters times 1.40 meters. Some features and hardware are not mentioned. I will explain it in 2027 next year. And this is the general explanation of our GE knitting machine. Thanks for watching. See you next time.